Victory had finally come. The banners of Sam Khan had fallen. The gates of Rome stood open once again, for the first time in many years. The people walked through their streets without fear. Children laughed. Merchants reopened their shops. The sound of celebration echoed through every corner of the city. The nightmare was over. Amir Arsalan entered the capital on horseback. Flowers covered the streets before him. Thousands of voices shouted his name. Yet the young warrior did not smile. He knew that victory in battle was only the beginning. Winning a kingdom was easier than ruling one inside the royal palace. The great hall had been restored. The ancient banners of his family once again hung from the towering walls. The royal throne stood at the end of the magnificent chamber, untouched for many years, covered in silence, waiting for its rightful king. The nobles of the kingdom gathered from every province: generals, judges, scholars, merchants, and the elders who had once served Amir Arsalan's father. Many of them had believed they would never witness this day. The oldest among them stepped forward. He carried an ancient golden crown. Its jewels reflected the morning sunlight. He knelt before Amir Arsalan. "My prince, your father's kingdom has been restored. The people await their king." For a long moment, Amir Arsalan remained silent. He looked toward the empty throne. He remembered his mother's sacrifices, the wisdom of Khwaja Noman, the battles, the friends who had fallen beside him. Every victory had carried a price. Slowly, he walked toward the throne. The entire hall fell silent. Every eye followed him. Every heartbeat seemed to stop. The old advisor carefully placed the crown upon his head. At that very moment, the hall erupted with applause. "Long live the king! Long live Amir Arsalan!" The voices echoed through the palace. Outside, church bells, war horns, and drums filled the city. The people celebrated until nightfall. But while the kingdom rejoiced, the young king had already begun his work. The next morning, he summoned his royal council. "Our people have suffered long enough," he said. "We will rebuild every village destroyed by war. We will lower the taxes. We will protect every merchant. And justice will belong equally to the poor and the powerful." The ministers looked at one another. They had expected a warrior. Instead, they had found a ruler. Weeks passed. Fields were cultivated again. Markets flourished. Roads became safe. Trade returned to the kingdom. People from distant lands began speaking about the young king, whose justice was greater than his sword. But peace never lasts forever. Far beyond the western mountains, messengers carried troubling news. Powerful kings had begun forming a new alliance. They feared Amir Arsalan's growing influence. One by one, old enemies joined together. Some sought revenge. Others desired his kingdom. All of them wanted the same thing: to destroy the young king before his power became unstoppable. Late one evening, a mysterious rider arrived at the palace gates. His horse collapsed from exhaustion. The guards rushed forward. The messenger carried a sealed letter. Only 3 words were written upon it: "They are coming." The royal council gathered immediately. The atmosphere inside the palace became heavy. General after general studied the reports. The enemy armies were larger than ever before. This would not be a simple war. It could decide the fate of the entire world they knew. Amir Arsalan stood beside the palace window. He looked across the peaceful city sleeping beneath the moonlight. Only yesterday, the people had celebrated their new king. Tomorrow, he might have to lead them into another war. Khwaja Noman quietly approached. You wished for peace, Amir nodded. I still do, the old advisor smiled gently. Then you must be willing to fight for it. The young king looked toward the stars. His journey had begun as the hidden son of an exiled queen. Now, he carried the hopes of an entire kingdom. The crown upon his head was not a reward, it was a promise to protect his people, no matter the cost. And somewhere, beyond the distant mountains, a far greater enemy was already watching, to be continued.